All right, WTF-DFW, episode 32. 32 straight episodes this year. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but we're now at like 10,600 subscribers and have had over 22 million people have viewed us since. This is January 17th was when we launched this YouTube page. So thank you to all of the new subscribers, everybody that's been clicking the link and all. Now we got to see more people actually watching the videos. But
we got a lot of likes.
We did. With everything's increasing, so we appreciate everybody. But where's the fun DFW? Again, those that are newly listening, this is really talking about a lot of issues and things that pop up in the industry in the local DFW markets, but it might be all throughout the U.S. as well. And then we talk a little bit about specific DFW venues and maybe some issues that are happening there, as well as some of our other businesses and all within, the Angemar realm. So let's recap. First, last week, remember we had Jeff Gilpin as a guest, and he's just such a great human. I get a kick out of him all the time.
Yeah, he was great.
He's intelligent. He's got, credibility. I see him occasionally comment on other people's posts, and some of them are controversial posts, but he's super diplomatic, insightful, and I think people respect his opinions, especially with live music and all, because for how long he's been doing this, and he talked about how long he's been with Incognito and how that band started, and also we talked about the balance of life and work, personal, bands, all of that. We talked about real estate. He talked about, the bands actually being responsible for putting on a good show and helping make the venue money. He also spoke about, the band holding or having accountability to get people out of their seats and keep them there and creating that kind of an environment. So it really was an interesting conversation. We covered a lot. I know it was a long podcast, but I love the fact that we covered so many topics. And also, once again, thank you to Jeff for coming out. Can't wait to have him back again in the future. So last week, we also had live band karaoke last Wednesday with Shannon Cobb. Major Keys was out on Thursday. Terry Ransom, one of his bands, that they do kind of piano music like we spoke about. So, Queen and Billy Joel, Elton John, things of that nature. Friday night, we had Metal Shop and Poison S. That was a great night. We missed the show, but, from all of the pictures and everything I've seen, it looked like it was a great crowd there. And then on Saturday, we did something really for the first time. We had an all-ages show for Still the One, the Shania Twain tribute, out there with Reputation, the Taylor Swift tribute. And I think kids and parents that we saw out there, they were just having an incredible time. I made an announcement twice just saying, hey, a couple of ground rules, just have fun. Make sure you dance and make sure you're singing, but no running around. We still wanted to make sure, everybody understood, basic ground rules. But I also told, anybody that's not a fan of kids or apt to complain, they might as well leave because it wasn't about them at all. And I think one of my counts, I counted like 75 kids that were in there. So the pictures I posted, it was amazing.
Who do you think they were there more to see, the Shania Twain or?
Oh, it was definitely Taylor Swift. Yeah. Everybody was wearing Taylor Swift shirts. But speaking of, Still the One, the Shania tribute, Grace is only 18 years old, the singer, and she's going down to UT. Actually, Sunday, I think she's going and moving in.
Wow.
But she came out, she was dancing with the girls that were out there, all of the kids that were out there. She's dancing, getting them to sing in the mic. They're high-fiving her up on stage. Every time she did anything, like the crowd just completely responded to her.
That's good.
It really was. It was just amazing to witness. And both of the bands, Still the One and Reputation, I appreciate them both because the amount of work they put in. And knowing that they're performing to a bunch of kids, I'm not sure that they're used to that.
Well,
but
it's hard. I mean, when I was, growing up here in town, there were places for young adults, teens to go. I don't know if there's any places for like that to go.
I don't think so. There even a couple of months or a year or two back, there used to be a place called Club Neon in the Stockyard area in Fort Worth. And that place closed. But I remember, two of
I
our
didn't know that
daughters.
closed down.
Yeah, about a year and a half, 2 years ago. But my daughters were out there one night, and they were like, it was like 11 o'clock at night. We're already in bed. They're like, come out.
Yeah.
So
right.
we're like, what? They're like, come
Yeah.
out. We're like, all right.
Yeah.
Now there we are. We're leaving the house, going to hang out with our daughters, and that was
Well, that's cool.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, I like it.
Because, you have these dudes that are walking up to them, asking them to dance, and the daughters are like, no, not interested. And then they get a little bit more aggressive, or then I want to jump in and respond, and they're like, Dad,
Your daughters were getting more aggressive.
Yeah. But, yeah, it was just a great overall weekend. I loved, seeing all of the kids. Loved everybody just having a good time. I sat back, I smiled, and if you look at the pictures that we posted on the Fat Daddy's Facebook page, you can see the smile on all of those kids with both bands.
We got videos up there right now.
No, that's awesome.
A lot of videos.
So let's see. That brought about a little bit of, a topic of conversation for this week. So I want to talk about personality types and specifically the complainers. My favorite people that are out there. I mean, we've had, yes, you just reminded me because last week we started our construction up there, but we had a person post a review on Yelp about, servers leaving. Not realizing, it's blaming it on management, but not realizing, what, summer's over and a lot of kids are going back to school.
Yeah.
But, that's not important. They're complaining about the construction, like they expect us to do construction, I guess, around their schedule because, their poker night was more important than tearing down the stage and all.
Yeah.
But they felt the need to post about it and complain. We've had people complaining about poor service, prices in our gun stores they've complained about, smell of smoke, lighting, they, saying how, how people might have attitude sometimes. We've had people acting like they're experts on our company. I've seen comments and all, that, they know everything about what's going on Angemar or about this company, that company, this company. 99% of them are wrong, but it's funny. I used to go on, Facebook and defend a lot of it, but I just decided, no, let these people just, prove themselves to be idiotic. But then I just also saw another chronic complainer posting about a business. Big Fella's just opened up, my buddy Shane's place in Mansfield. Well, they're closed on Mondays because it's a slow day. Yeah. They're a newly established place, so he decided on closing on, Mondays, and when it's slow, he's shutting down his kitchen early and all, which common sense says that's what you do. Any time you can save on labor costs, utilities, anything while you're an up-and-coming business, that's just smart business, It's smart, but...
What do they want them to do? Be like Walmart? Just be all open?
Yeah, I guess so. As long as it fits into their schedule, they're happy about it. But these are people that are constantly feel the need to complain.
Yeah.
And that's another one of my frustrating things. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand those type of people. Like, why are you so miserable, first of all? Why do you have this incessant need to be heard?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting my voice out there. I demand to be heard.
Yeah, but see, they won't say it in person.
Right. Yeah, and I'll get to that. Like, I mean, why do you feel like posting a review is, first of all, is going to change anything? The fact that you're complaining, like, anybody's listening and saying, oh, my God,
Well,
I can't believe we closed early, and it upset, Peter Parker.
The problem is, especially with Yelp, it does affect a business, because there are people with Yelp and Google reviews and any kind of review. If you start getting, like, just random 1 or 2s or even 3 stars, that really does affect a business. And if it's out of their control, or if it's, closing on that's their business hours. Why are they complaining about closed on a month? Go Tuesday. Right. You know what I mean?
But again, it ties to that incessant need to be heard.
Yeah.
Even with anything, did you ever even think, I started thinking about this, oh, that server had an attitude, or that bartender had an attitude, and I ever wonder, with these type of people, maybe that server or bartender has an attitude because they're responding to you, and you already come in with an attitude, you got a shitty attitude, you're complaining, they could feel it. You know what? If you're coming across and giving across that vibe, I guarantee more people are responding in that way to you than you think about. It's
Yeah.
not a, business. Now, I'm not saying right or wrong that I would ever want my staff to
Yeah.
act out or any of that or have an attitude, but, enough's enough because people have come up to me and at some points I'm like, you know what, you just got to go. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even tolerating you. But, like, why do people have this incessant need to just post and complain? I don't get it. It's one of those, I just don't get why people like that. And I see it all, and I'm sure you do. I'm sure anybody listening could say the same thing. You see it all over Facebook every single day.
Yeah, haters. There's
Go
no doubt.
follow Mansfield Talking Chair. All you see are people complaining about something on there, and it's just, they don't think about the impacts to the business. But, I'm 55. I've been to enough places in my life, good, bad, ugly, any of that. I've had food made that didn't taste right. You know what I've done? I've spoken to the server, never asked for money off, never asked for any of that stuff. I just said, hey, something doesn't taste right with this. Just wanted you to know so you can let your kitchen know. I've had food made wrong where, again, I spoke to the server, maybe had him correct it, like, hey, this burger is like a brick. I asked for it to be medium. Is there a chance you could fire up one that I could possibly eat or something? Or if it's undercooked or something, give them a chance to correct it. I've had poor service. And trust me, when I've had poor service, I've notified management, or we've dealt with it separately and actually called the place and asked to speak to a manager. But we've done that. I've had something I ordered and just didn't like it. Like, I'm like, hey, I want to try this. It came, I didn't like it, but I never asked for it to be calm. And people like, oh, I didn't like this. Can you, I don't want to pay for this. But
that just happened to me the other day. I had to drive. We ordered Uber Eats or whatever, so it came. The restaurant didn't put, of course, my order in the bag or whatever.
Right.
So it got to my house, and it was only my wife's meal, and so I had to drive up there and get it. And he was saying, I'm so sorry, or what can I do for you? He's like, just like make sure that you're correcting it. I'll comp it. I said I didn't want any. I'm not asking for anything free. I just want my meal.
Right.
Like, I want to eat and try not to have it happen again. And then he was trying to give for free, but that was not my point. And I didn't take it for free. I didn't get any.
Right, and I've said that
want to do
before.
that.
I don't want to hurt customer like a place's food cost or impact the server. It's not necessarily the server's fault all the time. Like if it's come out wrong, sometimes it is. There are times that, we've ordered something that came out. We're like, well, what is this? And they're like, oh man, I don't know why I put that in. I know what you ordered, and it's bound to happen. They're human, but some people will be fired off, just for whatever reason. Like, I don't know. It's not the entitlement thing. I just don't get it. The mindset of people now, and just watch them. And I really wish everybody, whenever you see a negative post or a negative comment, that people could just reply to them saying, wow, you're negative again. And just let them, maybe they don't know. Maybe they need people to tell them, you're a jerk. Like, I can't be the only one that wants to tell them that, I'm sure.
I'm sure a lot, what is it? Habitual jerkness.
Yeah.
They have to be aware.
Well, and I talked to, Shane, like I was talking to that big fellas. And he's like, how do you deal with these people that are complaining all the time? I said, just don't respond. I said, you're never going to be able to win, even though you want to. Let your customers defend you. There's nothing better than a customer defending you as opposed to yourself. But then the flip side, what ends up happening is a customer might defend you, and they're like, you'll see the next comment saying, oh, they must work for the company, shit like it just.
Those are just trolls.
Yeah. And I mean, there are certain people out there that's all they do every single day is complain, try to be an expert on everything. It doesn't matter, government, local government in the city, they're an expert on this. They know this person, they know this. Oh, this accident was caused by this, doesn't matter. It could be 4:30 in the morning. Accident occurred 10 minutes. Even when we had the fire at Mama Angie's, within 20 minutes, we had people saying this was arson. Well, holy shit, the fire is still burning, and you're calling it arson, like, you're a pro, but, again, they know everything, so
well, I have to delete a lot of comments from the comments with them talking about you, because I know how sensitive
Oh,
you are.
yeah. Yeah, like they're ever going to piss me off, or
Yeah.
like that's not going to happen. But I just want to know, why are people like that? And if I'm talking directly to you, why are you like that?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you are, just stop. Sweet Jesus, stop.
Own up to it and do something about it.
Well, yeah, just don't be a jerk, and that's it. And this is pretty much universal. I don't care what business you're in. If you're in retail, I don't care if you're in live music. I don't care if you're in a club or if you're in a band. If you're in a band and you were a jerk to everybody, nobody's coming out and seeing you. So, I mean, don't be a jerk. I don't care who you are, and God knows, even this person that wrote those 2 reviews, I'm like, you know what? Wow. It's about time that we ask you to stop coming in. So I have my staff on the lookout for when this person comes back in, and they're not welcome back because apparently they're not going to be happy.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of construction happening over the next 3.5 months or whatever that we're just going to piss them off even more. So if you're one of those people, just stop. And if you know people like that, call them out for that bullshit. Just somebody's got to put an end to it or reduce the amount of negativity. But all of these keyboard warriors that are constantly out there, like the saying used to be growing up, don't write a check that your body can't cash. Well, it's almost like saying,
that's true, man.
Your keyboard warriors, don't write a check that your fingers can't cash, I don't know, something like that. But somebody call these people out. They're just ridiculous. So that's it. That's my rant for the week. This week, what do we got going on? Live band karaoke tonight. It's Wednesday night with Shannon Cobb. Tomorrow night, a double dose of Shannon and Chi. Rockaholics is out tomorrow night. They're always a fun show. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there. We got Sammy Hagar, Joe Satriani, Michael Anthony, Jason Bonham. Oh, my God. I cannot wait for this show. Sammy Hagar is going to be 77 years old. This may be the last chance to get to see him. Who knows? But he may live to 100. But I cannot wait for the show.
Were we talking about Sammy and Eddie last week?
We talked about like the Sammy Hagar version of like my buddies in Van Hagar.
Yeah.
And then Jeff was talking about Inhaling.
Because I think that I was just watching everything's getting blurred now. I was watching some YouTube thing and they were just talking about it. And I think that was last night. Or Joe Rogan. Oh, maybe it was Joe Rogan and whoever he had on. That's what happened.
Okay.
They're talking about it too.
Yeah, it's like the show is unbelievable. Every video I've ever seen, I have had buddies of mine say they saw him in Florida, flew from New York to Florida to see him, and said they were unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Satriani is one of my favorite guitarists. He's from Long Island. He's taught everybody from Kirk Hammett, Steve Vai. You wouldn't believe how many people he's actually given lessons to. But now he's not even trying to be Eddie Van Halen. He's trying to do Eddie Van Halen justice. But like this interview I saw with Sammy Hagar he's not trying to replace him. He's trying to honor Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
And then people like, he could never be Eddie Van Halen. Well, you know what? Eddie Van Halen could never be Satriani. There's just no way. They're 2 different styles, but everything I've seen about these 4 coming together is absolutely incredible.
What's it called?
It's Sammy Hagar, Best of All Worlds Tour.
Uh-huh.
So, which is Best of Both Worlds, Van Halen, but he's doing Sammy Hagar stuff. But from what I read, like 30 minutes of Sammy, like 10 minutes of Montrose, and like an hour and a half of old Van Halen songs,
what it was.
all Van Halen songs.
They said that he did like a 3-hour show sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, where it used to be, they do this, he'd do a 15-minute acoustic thing, then Eddie would do a 15-minute solo, Michael Anthony would do a solo, Alex Van Halen would do a solo for 15, 20 minutes. He's like, we don't do these solo things anymore, so there are more songs that they bring. I think they're playing 24 to 26 songs.
Where's it at?
Dos Equis, or whatever they call that now.
Yeah.
Jexa, Starplex, that's what. Anytime I call it Jex or anything else, my wife's always like, it's Starplex.
Yeah.
Get that out of your your
It'll
head.
be hot as hell. What time is it at? Isn't it
7 o'clock. Oh, it's outside.
Yeah.
It's going to be hot. Tomorrow's a short show. Trust me.
Are you on the lawn? You got seats?
No, we got seats too,
okay.
which could be good or bad because it could be like no airflow in there. But I don't care.
Big ass fans.
I don't care. They got beer.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's going to be a hell of a night. So,
Right.
we got Rockaholics tomorrow night. Texas High Road, that house band, one of the house bands from Billy Bob's. Those ladies are playing again on Friday night with Outlaws and Lace. a 90s country band. They're new to Fat Daddy's, but he's also the guy who owns Black Box. And we'll talk about, actually, I'll go into that in a second.
Is that little tiny box that records?
No, the Black Box is like instead of having an iPad on stage,
Yeah.
right, to reading lyrics, whatever, it actually looks like a stage monitor. And it could have, chords on there for a song. It could have lyrics on there, and it works off a pedal where it could advance it or automatically just, scroll through your songs, set up set lists and all of that.
Okay.
Which, again, for a band that's, like Outlaws and Lays, I'm not, and this goes back to everything, I'm not talking about how I'm completely banning iPads and all of that in the right context. What I was saying, if you're in a tribute band, are you really a tribute if you need to know the words of the song? But if you're truly a tribute, you're in it for the love of the band, you know the lyrics. And if you screw up the lyrics, hey, shit, David Lee Roth used to screw up the lyrics all the time, for all Van Halen songs, and he, these are all his songs. So it's bound to happen, but just own it. But if you're playing, anywhere from 60 to 100 songs potentially, and you're accepting, people walking up to the stage, making requests and all of that, kudos to you. And it's also not blatantly obvious. It looks like a stage monitor.
Yeah.
So it's not in your face there. So in context, there's a right and a wrong way, to use something like that.
I don't know. It sounds like a political flip-flop to me.
Yeah, right. Nope. But I will support the Black Box guys, and it's in the right And again, I could use it for officiating weddings, right? Because right now I go off a piece of paper as I'm officiating every wedding I've ever done. I could actually load my, the whole wedding vows and everything on that and just be able to be hands-free and looking out instead of carrying a piece of paper or trying to read it off my phone and all of that.
I thought you were supposed to put it in a Bible or something.
No. Can you imagine me using a Bible? That shit may burn in my hands. I don't know. No, kidding.
War and peace.
Yeah. So that's Saturday night. Well, Friday night is Texas High Road with Outlaws and Lace. And then Saturday is Incognito, Jeff's band. We talked about it last week. Incognito is back. Check these dudes out. They're incredible. That's Terry. Their guitar player, Jake, I think his name is. Phenomenal. He's one of our favorite guitarists, if not the favorite guitarist in the DFW area. And Jeff is always Jeff. So next week, what we got coming on? Live band karaoke with Shannon Cobb on Wednesday. Heartbreak Petty, the Tom Petty tribute, is back next Thursday. We have Dallas Boston Experience playing with Back in Time, the Huey Lewis tribute, next Friday. So that's Mike Rose, that's his thing. They're phenomenal. Everybody who goes to see them are really impressed.
Yeah, Boston, that would be cool.
And the Boston, the dude that sings from Boston, we went to go see them a couple of months ago, and he was the one who said, well, my wife's his hair and everything. He's not an ugly dude, we'll say that. And he's like, it's my wife never knows whether to hug me or pee on my leg when she sees me at a show, protect their territory. But super nice guy.
Oh, I thought he got bit by a jellyfish.
Yeah. And then, so that's Friday night. The next Saturday is Rushmore and Texas Floyd. So got 2 great weeks of music coming up, and look at the variety. We have, rock and roll. We have, Texas country. We also have 90s country. We have another rock band. We have, Tom Petty, which I don't even know what you would call him. I wouldn't call him either.
I think he's great. That's what it is.
Like Boston, which is classic rock. Huey Lewis in the News, which is more like popish rock. And then you got Rush and Pink Floyd.
I mean, Huey was huge in the 80s.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And they bring out saxophone and everything. They're
really?
they're super talented.
Yeah.
So that's it for the next 2 weeks. We're starting upgrades at Fat Daddy's for those who, have been behind the rock. We've gotten rid of a couple of pool tables in there. Some of the games, we're moving the pool table area to where the old stage was. That pool table room is now going to be a private cigar lounge. So we're going to have cigar lounge, Thompson Cigar Lounge at Fat Daddy's will be in there. And then we're redoing the upper patio. We're creating a different private party room on part of our patio there as well. Changing out the carpeting in there. We've got a lot of work going on in the next 2.5, 3 months. So deal with it. Sorry if it's going to piss you off to those people that, the extra noise might frustrate you. We're definitely not doing construction overnight. So it's going to have to happen during the week. So just tolerate it. We'll try to keep you in mind as we and minimize the distractions and all. But, keep in mind that there are some times that, there are things we have to do during hours that you may be there. So Wednesdays, industry nights all day, or industry days up there. Friday and Saturday from midnight to 2 a.m. October, don't forget, we have Enough's Enough coming up. So look for that event posted now. We also have Mike Tramp's White Lion coming up in October. They're playing with Back in Black. That's going to be a phenomenal show. And then in November, my boy Steve Summers with Pretty Boy Floyd is coming back, and they're playing with, my guys in Van Hagar from New York and the Bob Seger tribute. So that's going to be a killer night. So these are all pretty big events that we have coming up in October and November time frames. Remember, don't forget, if you're in Fort Worth, downtown Fort Worth, 900 Houston Street, we have Thompson's Cigar Lounge, or Thompson's Bookstore and Cigar Lounge. So the Cigar Lounge is up on the 3rd floor. Event Center, 2nd floor, the basement. We have our Speakeasy that typically opens at 7 p.m. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then our bookstore level, probably some of the greatest drinks that you could possibly get in the DFW area. They're incredible. 4 different stories, 4 different vibes in there. But and our cigar lounge, we carry over $50,000 in inventory. So get in there, check it out, enjoy your stick, and relax, have a great date. We have another event coming up. What's it? The mixology classes.
Yes,
Well,
Friday.
we'll teach you how to make 1 of 3 different drinks. We'll give you the ingredients you need to take it home with you, the recipe cards, and we're not talking about Jack and Coke. We'll teach you how to make 3 of our specialty drinks that we have in there, so you can replicate and impress people when you get to your house.
They're
So
filling up too. Like this Friday we have a group of 12. I think next Friday we have a group of 10 or 14.
cool.
Yeah, no, that's full now.
And I think actually on Sunday up there, so keep your eyes peeled for that. We're going to have a comedy event up there Sunday night. So be on the lookout for more of that as well. More information on that as we
This Sunday? Are we going?
this Sunday. We're waiting to find out,
Okay.
so be on the lookout. Don't forget our Marksman Firearms, our Guns of the Month, any one of our locations. So Colleen right now has got a SIG M18 or M17 for $700. Either one of those 2 options. Wichita Falls has got a Hatfield SAS 12 gauge semi-automatic shotgun for $250. Perfect for dove season. So get ready for that. $250 for a shotgun, and it's a bad field. It's a badass, shotgun. It's a bad field for Hatfield.
Yeah.
But Granbury's got a Beretta Super Black Eagle 3 12 gauge with a range bag and a case. Not sure the price of that, but you can go check that out in Granbury. And Mansfield is selling Anderson lowers for $50, so you can start building your own AR. So any one of those locations, we're heading into the last week. Some of them may almost be out, but keep your eyes peeled for it. And if we have it at one location, we can ship it to another for you without any kind of issue. And Capone's Drink Easy and Sports Bar in Burleson, still holding on strong. Joey had to deal with them this week again with the city, but it's close. But I know I keep saying that week after week, and you can probably go back for months now and see. But I promise you, once we start construction there, all hell's going to break loose, and it's on. So be on the lookout for more information coming about that hopefully soon. But that's it. Again, everybody that's subscribing, sharing, following, liking, commenting on everything, we totally appreciate it. I appreciate the support. I appreciate everybody doing what they can to keep live music going in the DFW area. Not only that, throughout the U.S. It's just amazing to see that it's still surviving out, in our markets. So please get out there, support these venues. And again, I don't care if it's Tees, Oscars, Lava Cantina, Revel, I don't care what it is, that place in, Bedford Ice House that's out there. Just get out there and support these venues. Most importantly, don't be an ass. Don't be a jerk to the staff like we talked about this week. Don't be one of those people. And if you are, just stay home, because you're not doing anybody any good with your, misery and sharing all of that. So
look in the mirror and
absolutely.
talk to yourself.
Yeah, and if you have people that are constantly giving you an attitude, it's probably a you thing, not a they thing. So just don't be a jerk. But again, we appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the love. Get out the Fat Daddies, get out the Thompsons, support us, and do everything you can. Like, share, comment, whatever you have to do. Hit subscribe. But until next week, have a great week. Peace.